Hi. I'm going to do sort of a movie review, and it's going to be about The Great Gatsby, the one that just came out with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire and all them. Um, I'm kind of going to post some spoilers because I don't know. I've been like really tempted to post spoilers on my Facebook page, and I don't want to do it because I don't want somebody to accidentally read it. So, if you don't want to know spoilers, then don't watch this video. But if you've already read the book or seen an older version, then, might as well watch the video. So anyway, Baz Luhrmann, who directed this movie, is one of my favorite directors. Mostly because of Moulin Rouge. I love that movie. It was a musical. He also did Romeo and Juliet. And the thing in common with Romeo and Juliet and Moulin Rouge was that they were both like these tragic love stories. And so you kind of go in and you're expecting The Great Gatsby to kind of be the same sort of tragic love story. At least that's what I thought, because I didn't read the book. It's like based on a book. And so I didn't know anything about it really. All I knew was that it was set in the 20s. So anyway, you go in and you're thinking, okay, it's Baz Luhrmann. It's just going to be some sad love story where, like the Romeo and Juliet type love story where, one of them dies or both of them die, or, you think that's what's going to happen. And they're so in love, and then something terrible happens and it's all ruined. But that's not really the kind of movie this is. So it starts out like that. It starts out, you think it's going to be like that. Because it starts out with this guy, the guy, Tobey Maguire, who plays Nick Carraway. It's all from his point of view. And he's sort of like, I don't know how to describe him. He's sort of a dork, He's sort of like, everybody kind of tells him what to do, and he's just like, oh, okay, I'll just go along with this because he's a nerd or something. So he lives next door to this really rich guy, Gatsby. And that's played by Leonardo DiCaprio. And I don't know how old he's supposed to be in the movie, but he's supposed to be like pretty young. Leonardo DiCaprio is like 38 in real life. I don't know how old he's supposed to be in the movie. He looks a little bit younger than that. I would say he looks more like 30 or 28. So I don't know how old he was supposed to be, but that's how old he looks. So anyway, there's this rich guy next door, and he throws all these fancy parties all the time, and he never really comes out to party with the people. He's just he kind of just parties, invites everybody. Well, he doesn't invite everybody. He only invites Nick Carraway, his next door neighbor. So he invites Nick Carraway, and it turns out that he's the only one who's ever been invited to one of the parties. And then he finally meets this guy, Gatsby. Jay Gatsby, his name is. So he meets him, and he's like, oh, why am I the only one that's ever been invited? And so he doesn't say anything, and he just kind of acts like kind of weird or whatever. I don't even know if he asked him that. He just mentioned it or something. But anyway, so Gatsby, I'm so horrible at movie reviews. I'm like jumping all over the place. I'm horrible. I'm sorry. But I'm trying. This is like my first movie review. So anyway, so he tells some girl that's friends with Daisy, which, see, I didn't even introduce all the characters in my stupid-ass movie review. I didn't even tell you who Daisy was. All right, so Daisy is like Nick Carraway's cousin, and she lives across the lake or bay or whatever the hell that is. There's a bunch of water, okay? And Gatsby and Nick Carraway live over here. And then Daisy and her husband live over here. And Gatsby is mega rich, and Daisy and her husband, Tom Buchanan, they're mega rich. And, Nick Carraway, I think he's not mega rich. He just has a house, like a little house or whatever. So anyway, somehow, I think, Nick was friends with Tom Buchanan because they went to college together or something, I think. I don't know. And Tom married Daisy, who is Nick's cousin. But Tom is a bastard. He's like, some big shot guy. I'm rich. I'm so awesome. And he has like this other girlfriend in like New York somewhere. Some girl that's married to a gas station guy, and he's like doing her on the side, and then he's married to Daisy. And Daisy's like really cute and everything. And I looked her up on the IMDb. She's like, I don't know, 27, but she looks younger than that. She looks like she's 19. She looks like a baby. And I don't know how old she was supposed to be in the movie, but when you look at her, you think, oh, she's a beautiful little innocent little princess or something. And even her name, Daisy, it's so innocent, like not like a rose, not like a beautiful flower, like exquisite flower, but a daisy, like she's young and happy and innocent and like a daisy. And so you see Daisy and you're like, oh, Daisy, she's so adorable, and she has like this cute little haircut, and like you find out her bastard husband's like banging some other chick, and you're like, oh, poor Daisy, she doesn't deserve that. She's an innocent little flower. She's an innocent little daisy. And you just want to like protect Daisy because she's just a daisy. Okay, enough about that. So anyway, what happens is Gatsby is like in love with Daisy, and Daisy's married to Tom Buchanan. But Gatsby wants Daisy for himself. And it turns out that the reason that he was having all those parties is because he was hoping with his heart and everything that he was that sweet little Daisy would just come over and go to one of his parties because he loved Daisy. And it turns out that he used to have a thing with Daisy, and Daisy was like his girlfriend or something, but then he had to go somewhere, like he was like, I don't know. He went overseas somewhere, like I don't know, maybe he was a soldier, I think, or something, or yeah, he like went to some war or something, and so he had to leave Daisy, and and they got separated. So he always wanted Daisy. He missed Daisy, and this was like 5 years ago or something, and he just wanted Daisy back. And Daisy was married to some bastard. And so the reason he invited Nick Carraway to his party is so he could get to know Nick Carraway because Nick was Daisy's cousin. Okay, so he tells this other chick that's friends with Daisy. He's like, can you tell Nick to invite Daisy over one day so I can like say hi or something? Because back then it was like in the 20s. They didn't have Facebook or anything. He couldn't say, hey Daisy, what's up? Add me to friends. No, he couldn't do that now. So he asked Nick to invite Daisy over. So he gets her like all these flowers and puts them in the house. I think they were at Nick's house or something. And he's like, okay, now invite Daisy over. And so Nick's like, oh, hey, cousin Daisy, you want to come for tea? Just you? And she's like, that's kind of weird, but okay, whatever. So she shows up, and then Gatsby's there. Actually, he ran out in the rain because he'd like chickened out from meeting her because he hadn't seen her in so long. So, you know, he was chickening out, so he ran out in the rain, but then he came back in, and he was like all soaking wet, like dramatic, and he's like, and Daisy sees him, and she's like, oh my God, it's what's his face, my old dude or whatever, and she's like, oh, it's a pleasure to see you, Mr. Gatsby, or whatever the hell she said, Jay Gatsby, whatever she calls him. Anyway, it's so sweet and so romantic, and you're like, yay, Gatsby's gonna win over Daisy, and they're gonna be happy, and they're gonna be in love, and she's gonna leave the stupid bastard husband of hers, and she's just gonna go with her one true love, which is Jay Gatsby. But it doesn't really work that way, because see what happens is they start having an affair and stuff, and she doesn't say, like, she doesn't tell her husband or something. Like, she just keeps it a secret. And he says that, he wants to, like, actually be with her and stuff. And she, like, she kind of acts indifferent, like, oh, but why can't we just have fun like this? So Daisy's, she's, like, kind of wanted to. She doesn't want to leave her husband, and she doesn't want to just leave all of her life She's got like a kid with her husband and stuff, and she doesn't want to just leave him and go with Gatsby. I don't know why, because her husband's a bastard, but whatever. Anyway, what happens then? Okay, so anyway, even though she's acting that way, you know, they just keep having the affair and everything, and but then Daisy will say stuff like, "Oh, I wish I could do everything with you," or "I wish I could." I don't know. She's weird. Okay, I don't get her because she's like saying that she likes him a lot and wishes she could be with him and wishes she could do everything with him and oh, I wish we could just run away, but you know, those are just words. Those are just words because Daisy is going to turn out to be a total gold digging whore, is what she's going to turn out to be. Okay? So, anyway, um, this is the weird part is that Daisy and Gatsby, who she's having an affair with, start hanging out with her husband and her cousin and they're like and her friend and they're like all together like hanging out like yeah we're all friends. No, you're not all friends. Gatsby is banging you, you're banging your husband too, and then your husband is banging some chick at New York that lives at a gas station with her husband. Yeah, so anyway, you know, shit like that happens, you know, people cheat, people have affairs. I know it happens all the time. But you don't hang out with them. You don't hang out with the person you're cheating with and you're like, oh, this is my husband, this is my boyfriend. We're all gonna hang out. Nobody's gonna know. It's just kind of odd, if you ask me. I don't know why Gatsby wants to hang out with Tom Buchanan. Okay, it doesn't make any sense. So anyway, Gatsby's like, "Oh, well, will you tell your husband that, you know, you kind of never loved him and you always loved me and you only married him because I was like poor." Oh yeah, that's the other thing that happens. The reason that Daisy didn't marry him is because he sent her a letter from overseas and it said I'm penniless or something. And she's like, oh, I can't marry you now. I'm a gold digging whore. I can't marry you now. I've got to marry this rich guy, Tom Buchanan. You know. And so, God, I'm like really horrible at movie reviews. I can never be a real movie reviewer. And I'm acting like I'm like really nutsoid right now. But anyway, nobody's going to actually watch this. Nobody is actually watching this part right now because everybody already got sick of me talking and turned it off. Okay, so I'm just talking to myself now, but I'm getting to the really good parts because I want to, after I tell you what happened during the whole movie and give away the whole ending, I'm going to tell you what I thought of the whole movie. All right, so anyway, what was I? I was saying like they were hanging out all together, and and Gatsby wanted her to say, "I never loved you, Tom. I loved only Jay Gatsby," and so she won't do it. She's like, "But I can't. I loved both of you at the same time," and so she gets all crazy and starts smoking her little cigarette. Hey, I have an e-cigarette around here somewhere, but anyway. I don't know where it is. She starts smoking a little cigarette and be like, I just love both of you. I just wanted the one with the more money and now you're both rich and I don't know what to do. You know, that's like what's going on in her mind. So, so here's what happens next. They get in the car, Gatsby and Daisy, because Daisy's angry. And so they go and they drive really fast back to Gatsby's house and on the way back they run somebody over and kill them, and the person they kill is Tom's girlfriend, the girl from the gas station. They accidentally kill her, and so and after they accidentally kill her they just drive away. They don't stop, they just drive away. And you figure at this point Gatsby did it and he's just a fucking bastard. That's what you figure. But anyway, so Tom is going after them or whatever, and and he stops and he sees that his girlfriend died. He's like, oh no, my girlfriend. No, but he doesn't say that because her husband is there, and he's like, oh, the husband's like, oh, my wife, somebody killed her. And he said it was a yellow car, and Tom says, oh, well, that's Gatsby's car. We've got to get him or something, or he did it. He is a hit and runner. It was his car. And so what happens is it turns out that Gatsby wasn't driving, Daisy was driving. And Daisy ran over the chick. And Daisy is the one who drove off. And Gatsby was in the car, but since he's so in love with cute little Daisy, the gold-digging whore, since he's so in love with her, he just decides not to say anything. And he doesn't want anybody to know that it was Daisy. And because he wants to protect Daisy, because he loves Daisy. And he doesn't know that the guy knows that it was his car that hit his wife. So he goes home and he's swimming in his swimming pool, and all of a sudden the gas station guy with the dead wife, he comes up and he's like, okay, I'm fucking killing you. So he kills him, and then he kills himself, and they're both dead. And then it comes out that, oh no, Gatsby was really a horrible bastard, and he ran over this poor chick, and he killed her. And everybody hates him. Nobody comes to his funeral, not even Daisy. And then Daisy and her husband, like, they leave town or something. She doesn't even care. She's just still, Daisy, I'm a fucking gold-digging whore. I'm stupid. And so it's a tragic love story, but not because they were actually in love, but because only one of them was in love and the other one wasn't. And it's like, oh my God, that is like so sad because, Gatsby, it turns out, was like from a really poor family, and like he like changed his name and like left and like went somewhere else or something, or met some guy on a boat, and somehow he got rich because he was like I don't know what he was, like some sort of a bootlegger person, because it was like during the Prohibition, so he was like some sort of bootlegger, and that's how he got so rich. So I don't know. So anyway, he was like obsessed with being like this great, amazing, rich person, and it's like he wanted to get so rich because he wanted Daisy back. So it's like everything revolved around Daisy. Like all he ever wanted was to get Daisy back. And he said, my life must go like this, and his finger like that. Like his life is supposed to keep going up. So it's like everything that he wanted. It's like he had this dream in his own mind that Daisy was who he wanted, because for some reason he loved her. And even though she dumped him after she found out he was really poor, he still loved her, which is really stupid because, like, that should be a sign right there that she's a bitch. She's just using you. Okay, she doesn't love you. But he would stand out on the pier over on his side of the bay or whatever, and he would look over the water, and he would see the green light flashing over at Daisy's house, and he'd be like, Daisy, and he'd be like reaching for the green light. And he just reached for the green light because he loved her. And that's all that he wanted. And he never got to have her, and she was a bitch. And he died because he loved her so much. That's how stupid being in love with somebody can make you. And that was the whole point of the movie. And that's why I thought it was so awesome, because that's a lesson we all have to learn, because you don't want to be in love with a Daisy, And most people have done it, most people aren't as bad as Daisy, though. Like, they don't, like, kill people and drive off. But some people are. Oh, and anyway, let's just get over to the movie review part, because I'm supposed to be, like, actually reviewing a movie. So what did I think of all the production value? Well, I thought it was really good. I liked all the costumes, and Baz Luhrmann does this thing where he puts like modern music into old settings. He did that in Moulin Rouge and I think Romeo and Juliet too. Like he uses modern music. He did this in this one too, and I think it sort of makes you identify with the characters. Like there's, they're having a party and it's playing like songs that we would listen to today, but they look like they're from the 20s. But to them, they were listening to modern music. So I think it's kind of cool how we did that. And I don't know, a lot of people said that it was too long and they were bored, but I didn't get bored in it. I thought it was a pretty good movie. And what else should I say? I liked the actor that played Tom. I thought he was probably the best one, but they were all good. And this movie review is like 20 minutes long. And that is like way too long. Nobody is watching it anymore. I don't even know if I'm going to show anybody this, but whatever. Bye. I hope you liked the... Never mind. I know you didn't like it, so I'll just say I'm sorry for giving such a bad movie review. I'll try better next time.